Hi everybody and welcome to the 1st of August. I hope you enjoyed the blue moon yesterday here in Brisbane. She was just amazingly gorgeous and really brightened my evening, that's for sure, and I hope you enjoyed her as well. The energy, as I had, if you recall my July reading, the energy of this moon was going to be particularly strong, and I know a lot of you would have felt changes and shifts happening all this week. You know, you may have had a few crappy days in there and a few good days. So I thought I'd do August just a little bit different, and that instead of doing a week by week by week like I did last month, I just wanted to get an overall picture of what August has in store for us. Now that we've got Venus going in retrograde, I believe, and the blue moon has been and gone, and I know a lot of shifts were building up and taking place over the last few weeks for a lot of you. So tonight I'm actually reading from The Wisdom of the Hidden Realms by Colette Baron Reid. Now I actually love these deck. This particular deck is for me very connected to the other side. It has a lot of very good spiritual energy about it, and I like to use this deck when I'm trying to get an overall picture. So for this month's reading, what I actually did was I just asked what we all needed to know, where we were heading, what was the purpose of all the changes that have just happened, and where's it going to lead to. So interestingly enough, 5 cards fell out of the deck, as they do. So the first one is the Web Weaver. Now, I'm not sure if you can see that properly or not, but the Web Weaver is all about noticing your the synchronicity in life. So often changes happen and shifts happen, and we may not be ready for them, and we may not understand why they've happened, but frequently further down the track, and thank you hindsight, we can put the dots together and realize what's happening. So this is all about following your divine intelligence and understanding that everything is connected. There is no separation. In reality, there is no separation. So all the events, all the earthquakes that are happening around the world at the moment, all the other dramas that are going on in the world, they're all connected some way, and it's up to us to sit down and just sit with it, not in judgment, but to sit with it and observe it as the quiet observer, and ask yourself, what's in this for me? What is it that I need to know? So August is very much starting to put you on the path of your own greatness. It's showing you the way. It's leading you to noticing and realizing that, you know, an event that may have happened to you in April or May, for example, actually has a purpose, and it's starting to come to fruition now. Or something that happened 12 months ago is starting to come to fruition now for you, and you're starting to connect the dots. So we're all part of this wonderful, intricate web, this wonderful web of life that we've got going, and it's really understanding that there really isn't anything such as a coincidence. You know, that there seems to be a greater plan that none of us are privy to, but there just seems to be this greater plan, this larger than life change that's coming for all of us, and you need to be ready for it. So it's really about sitting quietly and noticing what's going on in the outside world, but also what's going on in the inside world. You know, if you're waking up with particular pain somewhere, don't just go, oh yes, well I'm in pain, so whatever, I have to go to work, or I have to look after the kids, so I'll ignore it. Stop for a minute and place your hand on that part that's sore and go, actually sit there and think about, why is it sore? So if your shoulder's sore, sit there and hold it and ask yourself, why are you sore? What's the problem? And really try to listen and really try and hone in and tune into your own body. The more you can do that, the healthier you'll be longer term as well, because you'll be able to pick up the cues. You know, the body aches for a reason, and far too many people go through life going, oh, it's just an ache, I won't care, I won't worry about it, when in actual fact what you need to do is take notice. Okay, so this is this massive web that we weave, the web that's around us, the World Wide Web. It's all there, it's all interconnected. So August is going to be a month of synchronicity and understanding where you're going, what you're doing, who you are, and just noticing things. You know, sometimes things that may seem like they didn't have a reason, you'll actually start to find out. So that ties in as well with the next card, which is the Word Lord. Now, the Word Lord speaks highly of listening to your words. So these are not only the words that you read in the newspaper or that you might read on the news sites on the website or in a magazine or in an article or what have you, but it's also about the spoken word. It's very much about you listening to the words you say to yourself, first and foremost, making sure that they are in accordance with your truth and that they're not someone else's words, and also the words that you say to other people. For example, something that I found myself doing a lot of is explaining to people very succinctly what I do in a handful of words. And I noticed that I kept saying this same phrase, wellness practitioner, over and over and over again this past month. And for me, it kind of culminated everything that I do. You know, I have many qualifications, I have many skills, I have many tools under my belt to assist people, but I don't really have a name for myself because I don't fit any one category. So I asked for guidance in the beginning of July to say, you know, where am I going? What do I call myself? You know, this is just a personal thing. But it was to find out who I was, how I was. And the bottom line is I'm a wellness practitioner. You know, the wellness covers all levels. It covers all the facets of everything that I do and all my qualifications in the health world, plus all the readings and everything. So I noticed that I was saying wellness practitioner quite frequently. So to me, I sat back and went, I wonder what that means. And I sat with it and I looked at it. So it's being this card reminds you, the Word Lord reminds you to be very mindful of your words, the positives and the negative words. We all have that lovely self-negative talk, which we all do at different times as those old programs surface. And really, if you hear something frequently, it could be a song on the radio, it could be as you're passing by a conversation, you hear the same phrase or the same word that pops through. I want you to really pay attention to that, because this is divinity trying to get a message through to you. This is potentially the answer to your prayers. Okay, so it's about being mindful and being aware. So that's the Word Lord. So he's come along this month to help you find your way. And you find your way by listening to yourself. Interestingly enough, that followed on with the next card, which is called the Spirit Whisperer. Now, very self-explanatory, really. You know, you've heard the horse whisperer, you've heard the dog whisperer, the cat whisperer. This is the Spirit Whisperer. So the Spirit Whisperer is what it says. It's about listening to guidance from Spirit. It's about listening to your intuitive instincts, your gut reactions, noticing, feeling, sensing, tasting, touching, invoking all your senses throughout the month of August, and really being aware of what's going on, both in your spoken word, in your physical world, in your mental world, and in your spiritual world. If you're finding that you're at a particular, might be your workplace, or you go to a particular event and you feel really good when you go there, and then by the end of the day you feel really, really crappy and drained, chances are that your beautiful energy has just been zapped by what we call energy vampires. And for those who don't know what an energy vampire is, it's essentially someone who has a very low energy reserve themselves, and they subconsciously see someone who's got a lot of energy or an abundance of light, and they're instantly drawn to that person, and they attach like a little energetic sucker, an energetic vacuum cleaner if you like, and they suck some of your energy to fill their own needs. Now, this is not a conscious effort. People don't deliberately go, oh my God, I'm going to suck the life force out of that one. It's just their innate need to feel good about themselves. So that's what the Spirit Whisperer is all about. She's all about making sure that you pay attention, first and foremost, to your surroundings. Secondly, make sure that when you get a recurring idea or a recurring thought, take notice of it, okay? Because chances are that's Spirit trying to get a very important message through to you this month. So August is actually a really big month for change, I've noticed. I can feel it already. But in all those changes, in all those ideas, in that abundance and influx of fabulousness which is on its way, we have the Ice Queen. Now, the Ice Queen is the opposite to what we've just been talking about. So what the Ice Queen does is she's here to cool you off. She's not here to stop you from going forward. She's not here to stop your ideas. What she's doing is she's trying to get you to focus on the one thing. Okay, so many of us have kids, family, a job, the mother, the father, the brother, sister. You know, we have all these outlets of energy everywhere, and for the most part, it sucks us dry. You know, we come home and we're exhausted, and the last thing we want to do is deal with people. You know, we get to that point where we go, oh, I just want to go sit atop a mountain and meditate all day. Hip hip hooray, see nobody, say nothing, and just be. Okay, so what the Ice Queen is doing, she's coming in, so you're going to get all this wonderful influx of energy and influx of information from divinity, from the guides, from your spirit guides, from the people around you, words, phrases, thoughts, feelings. But what she wants you to do is just hone in on the really important stuff. Okay, so if you've got an abundance of ideas, and they're going to be great, don't get me wrong, they're going to be fabulous ideas, you need to write them down. So write them down on a journal or on a vision board or whatever it is that you work with, and just sort of park them, okay, and deal with one idea at a time. Don't try to do too much. You'll just be too exhausted and you'll be too drained, and you'll get to the end of the month and you'll go, that was a waste of time. And we don't want you to do that, because this is a great month for change. It's a huge, huge, huge month for change. The energy of August already is very similar to the energy of August in 2012. Don't know if you guys remember that, but it was very unsettled, would be the word I'd use. It was very, everyone kind of knew in August 2012 that something big was going to happen. And if you talk to most people, you'll find that they'll either say 2012 was really crap, or 2013 was really crap, or 2014 was really crap, or for goodness sake, 2015 is still crap. You know, you'll talk to people, and most, not all, but a lot of people will say, oh my God, I lost my husband, my wife, I lost my job, you know, a lot of changes happened. And whilst all these changes seemed to be very negative, they're actually not, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to put you in a better space. So the universe loves to help us get rid of crap that just does not sit with our truth. And I'm quite big on truth. One of the things I value probably the most in this world is truth and integrity. Okay, so for me, I want to live in my truth. And when those things happen and you lose all that stuff, it does feel horrid, it does feel awful and unfair and unjust and what have you. There's numerous words that could crop to mind. But I'd like you to try and think of any of those events that may have happened to you over the past few years, particularly if something special happened in August 2012. And I want you to think about it and go, okay, so this happened. How did that set me up to where I am now? Or how did that set me up to where I want to go? And just really sit with it and honestly review it. Don't sit there in judgment. Don't sit there in fear. Just sit with it. Listen to how your body reacts to it and follow it, because I think you'll find, for the most part, that any disruption that's happened over the last few years, any disruptions that are continually happening, are actually helping you move step by step by step to where you actually need to be. Okay, so I'd like you to really sit in August and just listen to yourself a lot. If you have a lot of negative self-talk, I'd love for you to just push it aside and tell it to bugger off. And if it's continually in the back of your mind, I want you to ask yourself, whose voice is that? I really want you to ask yourself, whose voice is that? Because when you come into this world, you don't have negative thoughts about yourself. You don't have belief systems made up of this is good or this is bad. You just are here. You know, you're just this beautiful bundle of light. I don't know anyone that doesn't see a baby and go, oh, look how gorgeous they are. It's because they glow. You know, babies glow when they arrive because they're so full of vitality and life. And if you look into a baby's eyes, they're just amazing. Okay? They're just amazing. But as they grow up, as with all of us, you know, you get information from here, you get information from there. You know, primary school told you to be one way, and high school told you to be another, and then uni told you to be this, and work told you to be that, and mum told you to be that, dad told you to be that. And before you know it, you've lost your way, and you sit there and go, well, surely there must be more. And there is. So the key for you this month is to sit back and listen. Listen to yourself. Ask yourself where information's coming through, whether it's real, whether it resonates with you, whether it's true, whether you believe it to be true. I want you to really analyse these things, not to the point where you're losing sleep over it, because sleep's very important as well, especially when we're going through changes. But I'd love for you to objectively look at it. And if you're in a situation and it's too sticky, try and be a little alien. Okay, try and pull yourself out of that situation and look at it from above. Okay, try and see where this is going. Try and find out why you're having these recurring thoughts, why you're having these ideas, why you're having this burst of creativity, whatever it is that you're going through this month. I really want you to just question it and understand it and sit with it and feel it. I'm going to use that word a lot, actually. Feel. It's a word I think that's very much missing from our society these days. It's almost like we're too scared to feel. And unfortunately, the truth is that feeling is our way. Okay? So, August is about change. It's about getting you back on track. It's about taking baby steps, one step at a time, knocking down any brick walls or any negative thoughts or whatever else is going on. And it's about the cosmos, the final card for August. And this little beauty, wow, she's all about creativity and wisdom. We're talking universal creativity, we're talking universal wisdom, which, by the way, we can all access, okay? Nobody's, got special radars or anything. Everyone can access it, but you need to still your mind. You need to still, sit still. Forget about the hustle and bustle of life. Just 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day. Just sit with it and listen and feel. Feel. There's that word again, feel. Okay, that's my key word for the month, is feel. I really, really, really hope you've enjoyed this reading. I hope you understand where you need to go. I hope you get great joy and find your path, find your passions. I hope you're filled with brilliant ideas for the month. And most of all, I want you to love yourself. I want you to love yourself so much so that you make yourself your priority, okay? I want you to be your own priority this month. I want you to really focus on you, what you'd like to do, what you'd like to change in your life. Just review your life, okay? And find out who you are. Find out where you're supposed to go. Find out and listen to just how intelligent your entire being is. So that's it for me tonight, and I'm going to be uploading this real soon. If you'd like to know more about me, you can pop onto my website, www.mysticalessence.com.au. I've got a whole heap of information there about who I am, where I've come from, and all the different aspects of healing and health that I work with, if you're keen. And I also have an introductory tarot course happening on the 15th of August, which I'd love for you to come along. And it's really just an introduction, so it gives you an idea, but it will allow you to do some readings for yourself and get a bit of clarity for yourself and have lots of fun at the same time. So until next month, lots of love. Bye. And make sure you rock it really good this month.